am wearing my 9328. Somebody asked about Hug Snug. It is, I see if I can find mine. So it's literally rayon seam binding. So Hug Snug. I have 100 yards here. It's 1/2 inch wide and it's lipstick red. This is the colour that I have. So usually this is to finish off the seams on the insides of dresses for, you know, to make sure that they don't fray, and you sew it and wrap it around the seams and sew it down, so you end up with a nice 1/4 inch finish on the inside, and it's really lightweight. So what I'm thinking is that I would actually sew it, and this is why I want navy, because I don't want to make such a big kind of like deal out of it, but I would sew it over the outer seams to kind of make a feature of it, but again in navy, so that it wasn't as in your face as this red one obviously, but it would just break up that center front seam. And if I do it on all of the bodice seams, I think it might look intentional, because at the moment it kind of looks like I've just not bothered to pattern match, and I didn't, because I didn't want to waste any of this fabric because I love it so much and I want to get another garment out of it, which I'm hoping I can. But yeah, I wish I'd just cut this on the fold, and as I say, the next time I make this dress I will cut it on the fold, and I am going to make this dress again because I do really like it. I was a bit worried the skirt was a little bit too kind of straight up and down, but there's actually quite a lot of movement in the skirt. There's a lot of flare at the skirt at the bottom, and it's just sort of slimmer over the hips, which is a different look for me. I do really like it, and I have it on with my Hearten cardigan, which I think you can just about see the cabling there. This is a navy colour. Mum has rounded out the neckline on the Hearten cardigan because the actual pattern comes with a square top and bottom, and I prefer a rounded neckline. I might even see if I can maybe put some fastenings on it, but it's a lovely cardigan, and I am hoping for many more. Mum enjoys knitting this one though, because she likes cables. She does like doing cables. She doesn't like boring knitting. So as I say, I'm setting up for the live hangout. I am quite early. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 11:41 a.m.
So I'm about 19 minutes early, but I might start because I'm here and I'm ready, and yeah, I might just get going, because otherwise I'm kind of like, what do I do now? So yeah, I think that's the plan. I left you yesterday when I was tracing out the the Vogue 9006, and I still need to trace a few more pattern pieces off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more pattern pieces. There's 12 in total, so I've got halfway through. So yeah, I need to trace those pattern pieces off, then I need to alter them all. I think I just need to add length to the sleeves and the torso of all the pieces, but there are a lot of torso pieces because there's 2 top versions and one has 3 panels along the front. Fun times! So I think I might just get on and get that done now. Yes, right. Live hangout, so I shall see you afterwards. The joys of country living. The hangout was going okay today, and then Mum and Dad are moving all the furniture around up in the main house, and Mum accidentally unplugged the router, so that killed the first stream. Tried the second stream, that died. Third stream, that also died, so I've bowed to the inevitable and called it a day today. So yeah, the internet gods were not with me, but I was like mid-flow, I was getting really excited. We were talking about whether this goes with Cobra Corsage and whether it goes with this, because I want to make this pattern with it, which is the 7732. This would be the collar, this would be the main body of the jacket. Whether that then goes with Cobra Corsage, which I think I can kind of get away with wearing it together. But I mean, I was saying on the hangout, the trouble is I get drawn to prints and patterns for the fabrics that I like. I just get drawn to them and I want to buy them all. I have gotten better and realised that if I want to make coats, which I do, I need to try and buy more plain coating fabrics, which I've gotten better at. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patterned coating fabrics up there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, not 5, got one down there as well. Oh, 6, 7, I've got 7. So yeah, I need to get better at the kind of like, I can put a crazy print on the inside of my coats, but for the outside of my coats I really ought to buy plain colours because they will just go with more of my clothes. So yeah, I do think this combination works really well together, and it would be really nice because this is the tan mouflon coating I got from Sherwood's. It's a Lady McElroy, and I made the Jedi cape out of it, and then the Sorrento jacket. So I have a decent amount left. So it would be nice to kind of pair it with this. The two of them go quite well together for that little jacket. They can go back in there for now because I am in cutting out mode. And oh, we were also talking about a KB sewing challenge. It was totally the Peeps that came up with this, but we think we're going to do statement sleeves for the sewing challenge for May. I think that's going to be pretty cool, and it also gives me opportunity to use these sleeve patterns. So we've got the Simplicity 8506 and 8695 1930s sleeve patterns. It would be interesting to try these out. The afternoon did not go as planned. I'm kind of still like, you know, all creative juices flowing and wanting to pair up my patterns, but now that the Peeps aren't here, I ought to get back on with cutting out the 9006 and altering that one, getting that cut out, and then I can work on the sew along for the 6891 and the sew along for the 9076 as well. So that is what I'm going to get done this afternoon, and if I get those done I might then trace this jacket out because I would really like to get this made up. I think yeah, let's do it. It's always interesting seeing bias cut projects being cut out. I always feel that it's slightly wasteful of fabric, but when you kind of work out all the little bits that you have left over, you can definitely cut out the plackets and the continuous lap and the back facings. I usually end up with some fairly decent sized pieces that I can cut bias binding out of as well, and this is the reason that I don't use the continuous bias binding method, because I tend to cut it out of leftover pieces like this. The other thing I continuously remind myself when I'm cutting out on a single layer like this is that I need to mirror my pattern pieces. The front wasn't too bad because there's a whole pattern piece, but the back I need to cut two of them, so I need to remember if I'm cutting one with the fabric the right way up, I either need to flip the pattern piece or flip the fabric. This time I chose to flip the fabric. Once all the bias bits were cut out, I could then cut the sleeves out on the straight of grain, which was a nice change. I'm also cutting out a couple of hair ties as I had that long piece of fabric next to the sleeve that was available and probably wouldn't have fit anything else on it. I've got my 9006 cut out. I actually ended up shortening it by about 4 inches because it was coming down really far, and for the type of top that I want it to be, it's always going to get worn tucked in. It's just my preference, as I think I've said quite a few times now. But I ended up having enough of the, because I had a 1.4 metre cut and then a 5 metre cut of the fabric, and I had enough to get all of the body of the top out of the 1.4 metres, and then I had to cut the sleeves out of the 5 metre cut. I've ended up with some fairly, this is the smallest one, but some fairly decent sized pieces left over from my 1.4 metre cut. So there's definitely enough in here for me to cut out the bodice of the 9076. And I might even be able to get like a by hand London Anna top out of the remnants of this as well. Although I am going to probably add on a, let's see, I'm going to put a side zip in, so I need to have a side zip, a side seam in the skirt. I might even add on the skirt from this dress, you know, because I do really like this skirt and I can cut it out on the fold, whereas the skirt panels on the front of this one, I had to cut them out on a single layer, so it was a bit more work to do, and I would like to cut it out on a fold because I'm eliminating the kind of like below the waist opening on this pattern. So yeah, I suppose because I'm doing a sew along for it as well, but it's really the bodice that is the confusing part. Sewing, and as I say, I'm eliminating the only complicated part of the skirt because I just really don't like how it came out on the wearable muslin that I've made. So I think what I will do is, yeah, I might even use this skirt because I do like this skirt. Like I said this morning, I was a little bit hesitant about it, but actually it's really nice because it is full, but the panels are quite narrow, so I could definitely nest them on this. And the more I can get out of my sort of like 6.4 meters, the better, because this is just such a glorious colour. Really, really lovely. And I'm liking the idea of making an Anna top out of it as well, because then I'll have a long sleeve cowl neck top with long bishop sleeves like this. Then I will also have a short sleeve top for the warmer months if I want to wear it that way. So I think that's what I will do, is steal the skirt panels from this dress, but then do the bodice from this dress. I think that's going to work really well. Yeah, because there's side seams in this. Yeah, let's do that. think that's a plan. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below what you think, although by the time you see this I might have already cut it out. But Mum and Dad have ordered in dinner this evening, so I'm having steak and salad. I'm very excited, and it's going to be arriving soon-ish, so I don't want to start cutting out or filming the sew along for the 79076 just yet, because I don't want to have to stop halfway through to go eat dinner, and I know that if I go eat dinner and sit down, I'm not going to want to get up again because Chiana's going to come and sit on me. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I mean, it is 4 minutes to 6, so it's not been a bad work day, especially given it's a Sunday. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the bits that I have filmed for this video. I think there's going to be enough for me to put a waffle out tomorrow if I get to editing this evening, but if I stop now, then yeah, edit this evening. I will see you all very soon. Bye. Hey peeps, happy Monday. We have a very unhappy puppy dog down with us at the moment. Mum and Dad have been beastly and left the house, and we have the decorator in, and Susie was shut in the front room with her comfortable beds, plural, and she was crying, so she's come down here with me and she's not happy about it at all. She's whining, aren't you? I keep putting her in the bed that I've made for her out of my dressing gown, and she's just like, nah. So she's standing at the door and kind of doing her high-pitched whine that she likes to do, so that's fun. So when I left you yesterday, I had cut out the 9006 top, and I've got the Cobra Corsage in teal ready for cutting out the 9076. I've got today's video currently uploading on my chair down there, so that's good. What I need to do now is get the 9076 pattern pieces out, because I've already traced it all, so I'm gonna lay the tissue paper out and show you where the finished garment measurements are, but I've already traced everything out and I've already done most of the alterations to the pattern. I do need to lengthen the sleeves, so I'm going to put that bit in, and then that will show you how I've lengthened the bodice pieces, and then I'll show you where I've lengthened the bodice pieces. That works, at least that works in my head. And then I need to get the 9328 out and press the skirt pieces on that one flat. Yeah, that's the plan. Let's get on. Having decided to smoosh together the 9328 and the 9076, I then set about cutting out all the pattern pieces. I do think the combination of these two patterns is going to work really well. I'm excited to see how it turns out. As you can probably tell, I tend to ignore the lay plans that the pattern suggests for cutting out your pieces. I mean, in this case, as I say, I'm smooshing two patterns together, so it's a little bit of trial and error to see which pattern pieces work best in which spaces I have left. I tend to put the biggest pieces down first, so usually the skirt panels, and then work around those with whatever I have left, trying to be careful of the direction of the print if I am using a directional print. Once I'd got that complete, I could start work on the McCalls 6891 shirt dress. So I start by folding my fabric with the selvages together, getting everything nice and neat, only to realise that the skirt panels will not fit on that width of fabric, and I'm going to need to cut them out on a single layer. Fun times. So I smooth the fabric out, put it down on a single layer, and put my skirt panels on with the grain line running parallel to the selvage, obviously. The thing to remember when you are cutting out on a single layer, as I think I mentioned, is to make sure that you flip either your pattern piece or your fabric when you cut your second one out. I tend to flip my pattern pieces just because that means I don't have to completely rearrange the fabric with the wrong side up or the opposite side up. And then just keep going until all the large pieces are cut out. Then you can refold your fabric selvages together to cut out the remaining pieces. The pile of projects is building up. I've got the 9076 cut out. I've got two Anatops cut out, one of the teal viscose and one of the green cotton lawn. And I've got the 6891 cut out, but I do need to cut out the lining for it, which is why the pattern pieces are all over the place. But it's just gone 6 o'clock and I'm hungry. I've got little sprouts as well. Yeah, I'm hungry, so I am going to head back up to my room and get some editing done. I am probably not going to come back down after I've eaten. I always think that I will, but by the time that I've actually got the food and sat down, the cat's on my lap, I'm like, nah. So I'm going to pick up cutting out tomorrow. I've got a few more projects that I want to do, and then I can get back to sewing, which is exciting. Forgot to say goodbye to you. Don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the little bit I have filmed today, and I will see you all tomorrow.